Crashing on an alien planet would be a life-changing experience, and probably not in a good way. You'd be stranded on a world you know nothing about, with no way to contact your loved ones or get back to Earth. But hey, at least you'd have a great story to tell. On the positive side, there are a few amusing possibilities if you crash land on an alien planet. You might try to communicate with the aliens using sign language, but they might just think you're doing some kind of weird dance. Alien anatomy and culture could be so different from our own that it's impossible to know what they might think of our gestures. For example, you might give them a thumbs up, but they might interpret it as a challenge to a duel. Or you might wave hello, but they might think you're trying to attract their attention for mating purposes. You might try to eat their food, but it might taste like garbage. Alien food could be made from ingredients that are completely foreign to us, and might even be poisonous. For example, you might find a delicious-looking fruit that's actually filled with acid, or a nutritious-looking vegetable that's actually highly toxic. It's best to stick to your own food supplies if you can, or at least do your research before trying anything new. You might try to make friends with the aliens, but they might just think you're a pet. Aliens might have a very different view of life than we do, and might see humans as inferior creatures. For example, they might try to put you on a leash, or feed you table scraps. It's important to be respectful of their culture and customs, even if you don't understand them. After all, you're the guest here. You might try to learn their language, but it might be so difficult that you give up. Alien languages could be incredibly complex, with different grammar rules and vocabulary than anything we're used to. For example, they might have a word for every shade of green, or a different verb for every type of movement. It might take years to learn enough to have a basic conversation. But on the bright side, you'd be able to impress your friends with your new skills when you finally get back to Earth. You might try to escape from the planet, but you might just end up getting lost in space. Alien planets could be incredibly vast and complex, with different climates, terrains, and life forms in every region. For example, you might try to walk to the nearest city, but end up getting lost in a dense forest. Or you might try to build a spaceship, but accidentally launch yourself into a black hole. It's important to be prepared before attempting to escape, or you might end up in a worse situation than you started in. Of course, crashing on an alien planet would be a serious situation. But it's important to remember that even in the darkest of times, there is always room for humor. So, if you ever find yourself in this predicament, try to keep a positive attitude and enjoy the adventure. And who knows, you might even make some new friends along the way. Just remember to be careful of the poisonous food and the alien mating rituals.